to the marina. The Zoo Arena, otherwise known as the Marina. So if the football stadium's called the Zoo, is the basketball arena called the Miz?
Could you imagine?
Oh my god. I think we get into some copyright infringement trouble with the WWE. Don't they have a character called the Miz?
I don't even know.
I think they do.
This is the best day for college football.
This is the best day for any sport, honestly. Baseball would be great in this weather. It's like sunny, there's a little bit of a breeze. Soccer would be freaking fantastic. Lacrosse would be fun. Football would be great.
I wouldn't mind getting painted up in this weather.
Dude, I get painted up in this. It's sunny. When the breeze blows, it's a little bit chilly, but like, it's sunny, so it's still pretty warm. And you know, down on that first row, it doesn't get very windy. Especially when the wind is really settled like this. It'd be a nice day to get painted up. If we had a noontime kickoff, I would have done that. Alright, let's see, the Miz. Is the Miz a thing? Yes, the Miz is a thing. American professional wrestler, I was right.
Want you to give me the rundown for the SEC Championship, ACC Championship.
Okay, ACC Championship. The U, if I don't die, the U is on a downward spiral. They've been looking the past 3 weeks. They'll lose. It'll be Clemson. Clemson has not been on a downward spiral. Clemson has looked good every week. It will be Clemson. And then Clemson will be number one in the college football playoff pool. And let's see, in the SEC, Auburn will win. And then they'll be number 2. What's up, Marina?
Hey. Okay, Auburn. Now Ohio State, Wisconsin.
Ohio State, Wisconsin. I think Ohio State will win. I think Scotty is overrated. And I think that Ohio State still has enough in them to win the Big Ten. Now this throws a kink, because if Scotty loses, like a 1-loss Wisconsin is not even close to being better than a 1-loss Bama. So, but 2-loss Ohio State. Do you put 2-loss Ohio State, who's also Big Ten champion, above Bama? I disagree. So if Scotty loses, my top 4 becomes Clemson 1, Auburn 2, OU 3, Bama 4.
Okay.
And then, for my national championship, and this is so bad. I want it to happen so much. I don't think it will. Auburn will beat Clemson, right? In that 1-4 matchup, Auburn will beat Clemson, and I think, well, sorry, not Auburn. Bama will beat Clemson in the 1-4 matchup, and then I think Auburn puts the hurt on OU, and we get an Iron Bowl national championship.
Now that'll be insane.
That would be the best thing that has happened to college football in years.
I don't think that's ever happened before.
I don't believe it has, because what's happened in the past is, you know, back when the BCS was a thing, the Iron Bowl was basically the hybrid of the college football playoff, because it always used to be, you know, Auburn and Alabama always used to go undefeated going into the Iron Bowl, right? And then it was basically the winner of the Iron Bowl is number 1, and the loser of the Iron Bowl drops to 3 or 4, and so then like Ohio State or some crummy, you know, Pac-12 school would go up to number 2, right? So I don't think we've ever had it where Bama has played Auburn in the Natty. And what that would do for football, not just college football, but sports in general. An Iron Bowl National Championship would be phenomenal. And that gets played in January, right? That gets played in the new year. So in 2018, we will have, if this happens, an Iron Bowl National Championship. We will have what is promising to be a crazy Super Bowl, right? It might not even be the Pats. It might be like the Eagles in the Super Bowl. We'll have the Winter Olympics. We will have, you know, whatever crazy things happen in baseball, because it's always going to be crazy in baseball. A potential, if the Vegas Golden Knights keep their momentum, a potential expansion team in the Stanley Cup final.
If the Celtics make the final.
If the Celtics make the final, we could have and they won't, so a LeBron-Steph rematch again, right? The World Cup. Like, 2018 is going to be the year in sports if it goes to an Iron Bowl National Championship.
Alright, so now I gotta sit like my ACC, Big Ten, everything. Alright, so I predicted TCU to beat Oklahoma, so I'm already on an L for today.
Solid L. TCU's an overrated football team. We never would have gotten that right.
No. Alright. SEC, Georgia versus Auburn, the rematch. I want to say Auburn because I think Johnson's going to have another monster game and the defense is going to be able to stop Georgia's line of scrimmage. But I want to say the Dogs on this one. I just think the way that Georgia was upset a few weeks ago, they were like just being like 40-17. I think Georgia's going to want revenge. Now, the U and Clemson, I'm going to put the U on this one, and I'm going to tell you why. I think the way that Miami played against Pitt, which was horrific, I think that game woke up the Canes, and they're going to have momentum, especially if they win. They may be in the top 4 in the college football playoffs, so I'm going to take the U. Ohio State, Wisconsin. I'm going to say Ohio State. I think Wisconsin's overrated. They didn't play any big opponents up until now. Ohio State has a chance to be in the top 4 playoff. I think they're going to play with a lot of energy. I'm saying Ohio State.
I still don't think, even if Ohio State wins the Big Ten, 2-loss Ohio State cannot make the college football playoffs over a 1-loss Alabama. And a 1-loss Scotty is definitely not over a 1-loss Alabama.
Now let's just say the top 4, either Clemson or Auburn loses.
If Clemson and Auburn lose, then that throws a kink. I think if Clemson loses, God, would the U go back in? I'm not sure the U would go back. If Clemson loses one game, God, because Georgia's also in the running, you know?
They're not done.
They're not done. Like, Georgia's in the same spot as Ohio State.
And the U.
And the U. Well, not as much as the U, because Georgia and Ohio State are both 2-loss teams.
Yeah.
So, if Georgia wins and Ohio State wins, but then, like, because OU's already basically won the game. They've beaten TCU. OU's in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's almost assured at this point.
Now, if they advance a 4 seed, we don't know. We'll have to see how the rest of these games go.
If Clemson loses and Oklahoma, you know, seals the deal against TCU, Oklahoma is the #1 team in the nation. If Auburn loses as well. If Auburn loses and If Auburn wins and Clemson loses, Auburn's number 1. It's a hard decision.
It is.
But that won't happen. Let's just put it that way.
The bowl games are announced tomorrow.
Oh,
Where do you think Mizzou's gonna land?
Okay. So I'm torn, right? Because the Tigers have a shot at playing. It's going to be UT. If we go to the Texas Bowl, we'll play UT. So the Tigers have a shot at playing the University of Texas, a school that I grew up, as someone who grew up as an Aggie, I grew up hating, right? So in my heart, I would be so pumped to play UT in Houston. I would go to that game, like it's in my hometown. I'd be going there. I'd see it. It'd be awesome. But also, Texas A&M has almost an identical chance of being placed in the Texas Bowl and playing UT, which means that it'd be A&M UT in Houston, once again, a game that I would go to. And we haven't had A&M UT since A&M went to the SEC. I grew up watching A&M UT every Thanksgiving, so I want that. So I want A&M UT in the Texas Bowl, but I also want Mizzou in the Texas Bowl. I don't think that Mizzou will go to the Texas Bowl. I think Mizzou will go, like, I don't know, the Tax Slayer Bowl or something. I think like Liberty Bowl is probably off the table. I know that was up in the air. That was a potential. I think it's Tax Slayer Bowl.
All right. So Liberty Bowl was the obvious choice because Liberty Bowl candidates love Mizzou. They came down for like the Vanderbilt game, the Arkansas game, and they constantly went on reports saying, we love Mizzou. We want Mizzou to be in a bowl game for us. We used to be in the Big 12. We play against a Big 12 rival. That's Kansas State, Iowa State, whoever. But I will have to see us in the Texas Bowl.
That was me basically saying the crosswalk here sucks. I'm just gonna go.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. Maybe the Tatzler Bowl, the Texas Bowl, Louis Bowl's off the table because they don't want an SEC school, reports have said.
Really?
I think so. Now, growing up watching Northwestern, I would go with that game. I used to, live by, the Northwestern football team. I went to a lot of games. I'd love to see us play against Northwestern in a Big Ten Bowl, but that seems to be off the table. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's been a while since I updated you. I got my Mizzou Souvenir Cup. We may not be in the SEC Championship, Georgia against Auburn, but doesn't mean we can't stop repping. Man, it's chilly out. It was like 60 degrees all day. Well, it's nighttime. The wind's kicking in. It sucks. Hey, what's going on, guys? And we were just talking about the college football playoffs and how the seeding should be changed. It should be at least 8 teams. Like, you should remove bowl games. Like, no one cares about the Potato Idaho Bowl. Idaho doesn't even exist. It's a conspiracy, government conspiracy myth. So remove those kind of bowl games and make the playoffs 8 teams as opposed to 4, because you have Georgia, who beat number 2 ranked Auburn. Georgia's ranked number 6 in the country, I believe. Clemson's playing Miami right now. Wisconsin's playing Ohio State. Like, Alabama's currently ranked 5. Georgia's ranked 6. And then it's Miami 7, then Ohio State 8. Like, if Clemson loses, Oklahoma's going to be number 1. That's a guarantee. Do you put the U at number 2? Where do you put Bama? Where do you put Ohio State if Ohio State's in there? Like, where do you put everybody? It should be at least 8 teams.